It's a very old one, but it's a story about a platonic breakup. Now, when I say platonic, I mean between two friends. Now, they also loved each other. They were not in love, but they also loved each other. So it was that kind of love. It was that kind of connection. It's about that. It's between two people who fell in and out of love, between two strangers in the night who became friends by sunrise. They met at a party, exchanged numbers, and promised to stay in touch the next day. As the sun rises, दोनों के दिमाग में एक ही ख्याल आता है, क्या उसे वो बात याद रहेगी? Should I send a message by saying, hey there, it was nice to see you yesterday, or should I send a message by saying, hello stranger? कैसे भी करके तुम उम्मीद और हौसला लेकर व्हाट्सएप पे उसका नाम सर्च करते हो एंड यू सेंड अ सिंपल हेलो. भेजते ही तुम्हारे दिल की धड़कनें तेज होती है while you wait for a simple 6-letter word to pop up under her name and soon it reads online. लेकिन वो देखते ही you start regretting your decision. थॉट्स आ जाते हैं. You start to think, क्या उसका सामने से रिप्लाई आएगा या मैंने कुछ ज़्यादा ही जल्दी मैसेज कर दिया था? Should I have waited for 3 days like How I Met Your Mother had taught me? As your mind starts to race and your heart picks up some pace, that 6-letter word turns into an even more beautiful 6-letter word, and soon you see her typing. Those few seconds feel like hours. Those few seconds feel like hours as you wait for her to press send, और अपना mind distract करने के लिए तुम फोन नीचे रखने ही जाते हो. तभी एक आवाज आती है, टिंग. वो मजाक में लिखती है, hey there, long time no see. बस यार, वो पढ़ के तुम्हारे सारे डाउट्स क्लियर होते हैं and you finally take the conversation forward. धीरे धीरे you start to talk every day. Every hour of the day feels different. Every conversation has an exciting energy. You start loving to learn new things about them and you can't wait to tell them about the day you had. हर दिन की शुरुआत how did you sleep and did you get enough rest से होती थी, और end भी hope you ate well and how was your day से. हर दिन के हर घंटे टेक्स्ट करते, रात को घंटे घंटे बात करते. But then it comes to a point where तुम दोनों एक दूसरे से बात कम करते हो. And when you see each other somewhere like, मैं बात करूं या ना करूं, पीछे मुड़ूं या बस चलता रहूं, and that's a horrible feeling. वो कहते हैं ना, if two people love each other, no matter in what way, if two people love each other, then their relationship, platonic or romantic or otherwise, will be the strongest relationship they have ever had. हर बॉलीवुड पिक्चर में तो हम यही दिखाया गया था. वो 3 साल की कहानी 3 मिनट के सॉन्ग में दिखा देते थे, इश्क वाला लव है भी. But sometimes love might not be enough to sustain a relationship. वो कहते हैं ना कि खैरियत तो हर कोई पूछता है, लेकिन लोगों को तलाश उनकी है जो एक्चुअली आपका ख्याल भी रखे. लेकिन क्या होगा अगर वही ख्याल रखने वाला आपसे एक दिन खफा हो जाए? Then what is one supposed to do? What is one supposed to do when love isn't enough to sustain this relationship? How can you go from being called Hi Mary Jan to not even knowing what I'm up to these days? How can you go from getting butterflies while falling in love to getting used to each other's company and being forced to stay in love out of habit? How did you go from cancelling plans with your loved ones and friends to spend time with them to now cancelling plans with them to spend some time alone? How did you go from sending gifts like flowers, chocolates, and ice creams through the day to now sending messages that are left on read for hours? How did you go from meeting them every day because you can't seem to get through a day without them to now meeting them once a week because you have to? The process of falling out of love and starting to move on is the worst feeling. You start to do things that matter to you. You start to look after yourself, but then there's this one thing that fucks you over. That's called life. It's got a very weird way to, just when you're like on that verge, like I am going to be okay, life will be like, hello. I don't think so. तभी जाके you end up running into them at some part of the town. तुम्हारे दिल में बहुत सवाल उठते हैं, लेकिन the one thing that bothers you is कि हम क्यों नहीं नजरें मिला सकते हैं? हम क्यों नहीं एक दूसरे के साथ रह सकते हैं? हम साथ में लेकिन फिर भी दूर. हम क्यों नहीं नजरें मिला के एक दफा बस बोले कि I'm sorry. And if you think that you should build up the courage and you go up to them, तभी वो नजरें चढ़ा के कहीं और चले जाते हैं. And you start to think that, why did you look away when I crossed your path today? I can't believe that we decided to walk down the same road, but one of us went a different way. It's hard to comprehend that you're the same person who left everything when I needed it the most, and now, no matter how many times I try to say hello, all I hear is adios. ऐसा क्यों होता है? क्यों बिछड़ते हैं दो लोग जो बस कुछ ही देर पहले एक दूसरे के बगैर रह नहीं सकते थे? Why is it that the person you once considered the most important in your life starts putting you lower down on their priority list? Can we all agree on one thing? They say communication is key, yeah? Louder, they say communication is key, yeah? But then why are most of the reasons behind fights just simple misunderstandings? तुमने जो कहा उसने क्या समझा, इसका जवाब तुम ढूंढते रहते हो, और इसी जवाब के खोज में 2 मिनट का रास्ता 2 साल का फासला बन के कब रह जाता है ये पता ही नहीं चलता. तभी दिल कहता है यार कि why do I miss a communication because of some miscommunication? My truth was just understood his lies. We were 2 strangers in the night that I remember and became friends by sunrise. Finding solace in each other, we wandered the streets, leaving the world behind. We danced on our feet. But then why did it hurt? Why did it hurt when a friend turned to a stranger and we started to grow apart? I just wonder what it will take for us to go back in time and begin from the start. And that's the problem. Sometimes the person that breaks your heart isn't your partner or your friend or your family. It's a person you considered close. Yaar. You start missing the person they used to be. While you hold on to your past, you start reminiscing the times you had together, wondering why it didn't last. Facebook sabke paas hai, yeah? You might have 2,000 friends on Facebook, but they're just 2 friends you want to face. Waiting to book some time with them, you find out that you've been replaced. सेल्फ डाउट बढ़ जाता है. सेल्फ डाउट और सेल्फ बिलीफ के बीच में लटकते हुए तुम्हें यह एहसास होता है कि एंड में तुम तो उसे सिर्फ खुश देखना चाहते थे. अपने दिल से एक आवाज़ आती है कि चल रहने दे छोड़, कि चल रहने दे छोड़, क्या हुआ अगर तुम उसे वो खुशियाँ नहीं दे पाए. तभी यू रियलाइज दैट इट्स ओके टू लेट योर फीलिंग्स फील. इट्स ओके टू बी हर्ट. इट्स ओके. वो कहते हैं ना कि दिल तो बच्चा है जी. या वी ऑल दैट सेइंग, दिल तो बच्चा है जी. व्हाट डज दैट मीन? आवर हार्ट इज ट्रूली आवर चाइल्ड. We learn to protect it. We learn to protect it and fight for it, but sometimes that's not what the heart wants. Just like children, the heart needs to learn by making mistakes. If we keep it sheltered for too long, it might not learn to differentiate between the things to hold on to and the things to let go. So it's okay. Let your heart be. If it wants to hold on to something and someone and you know it's going to hurt you, let it be. Your heart will learn. अपने दिल से लड़ो मत, उसे रहने दो. गिरेगा बच्चों की तरह, अपना दिल गिरेगा, उछलेगा, टूटेगा, लेकिन तभी तो सीखेगा. अगर दिल को कुछ महसूस करना है तो करने दो. अगर किसी चीज़ से उसे मोहब्बत है तो वो फीलिंग पकड़ने दो. और अगर दिल धड़क रहा है तो धड़कने दो. Thank you. This entire fiasco was for a small announcement as well. I'm doing a solo show titled Dil Dhadakne Do. Thank you. One person. I'm doing a solo show titled Dil Dhadakne Do. It's my second solo. The first one is called Kalo Na Ho. Now it's called Dil Dhadakne Do. I'm sure we'll end with Rocky Rani. 15 solos down the line. But it's called Dil Dhadakne Do. Dil Dhadakne Do is a poetry and storytelling show that might or might not be based off true events.